करते हो तुम लोग? हमारे गांव के बच्चे हैं मदर जी, बकरियां चराते हैं।
Welcome to Shalom World TV's Beyond the Vision, a show that features faith-based film and television. I'm your host, Joelle Maryn, and today we're going behind the scenes of the film The Face of the Faceless.
पानी गंदा है ना? यही हम पीते हैं। चलो चलो, यहाँ कोई नहीं है। चलो चलो, थोड़ा पानी।
This incredible film is based on a true story of an Indian nun and martyr, Sister Rani Maria, who is now beatified.
സത്നയിലെയും ഉഡ്ഗഡിയിലെയും പാവപ്പെട്ട മനുഷ്യരുടെ ജീവിതത്തെക്കാൾ സങ്കടകരമാണ് അമ്മച്ചി ഇവിടുത്തെ ആദിവാസികളുടെ സ്ഥിതി.
इस सारी फसाद की जड़ वो औरत है. इसका कुछ ना कुछ तो उपाय निकालो अमर सिंह.
In India, when you hear about a Catholic nun or a priest, the first thought comes to you is they're working in order to change the religion. But here the story is not that.
काम का पगार सिर्फ खाना.
It shows how the power, when we come together, what can happen when we fight for what is right.
अच्युत तो सिर्फ आदिवासी है, उनका पैसा नहीं है ना साहब.
तेरी हिम्मत कैसे हुई हमारे सामने बात करने की?
बात करेंगे.
Shooting with temperatures around 47 degrees without any proper facilities was another challenge that we had.
That story itself inspires me, and it really gave me hope and trust, which really brought out the music.
Joining us today is the director, Director Shaison P, producer, Sandra D'souza Rana, and music director, Alphons Joseph. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's so great to have you all. It is an incredible film, very, very powerful. Dr. Ouseph, I'd like to start with you. For the first time in the century-long history of Indian cinema, a biopic on a Catholic martyr finds a significant space. And yeah, it's gotten great response in the theaters too, but even beyond that, if you find yourself in a position in the Oscar nomination eligibility list, how do we look at this historic achievement?
Joelle, we are so excited that our film could find a position in the Oscar nomination eligibility. This is really a historical achievement, and the reason is a biopic on a Catholic martyr could find a significant space in the filmmaking. We had a long journey of almost 7 years before completing this film, and many thought that, okay, Face of the Faceless is just a documentary or a short film. But in reality, we know that it's a 2 hours and 16 minutes full-length feature film made in Hindi language. And we had a great journey and a successful journey, and is still continuing this journey after winning more than 45 international recognitions. And the film is released on 17th of November in Kerala, India, and which ran successfully for almost 7 weeks. And we are also so happy that on IMDb, our rating is 8.9. And if you look at Book My Show, it's one of the portal which we use to book the tickets, it's rated as 9.3 out of 10 still today. So thank God for us. This is a great achievement, and we are really proud of this achievement.
Well, and you should be. Absolutely. And Sandra, I just want to switch over to you a second to really go off of what you was just saying. You know, The Face of the Faceless is receiving amazing responses, astonishing responses, but not only from India. This is going all over different countries, and the film is now going to be in different languages, including Spanish. What other achievements has the film brought you that you value as much as this eligibility nomination and all the reviews online?
As you rightly said, Joelle, yes, the film has astonishing responses from across the globe. And I think it's a masterpiece. It's a great saga of sacrifice. And I think the greatest achievement is having touched people's life. The film has inspired people. It has given them an opportunity to relook as to what they are doing. We could make a difference today.
हमारे ठाकुर साहब से बीज और खाद उधार लिया है वो पैसा अब चुका दे
സത്നയിലെയും ഉഡ്ഗഡിയിലെയും പാവപ്പെട്ട മനുഷ്യരുടെ ജീവിതത്തെക്കാൾ സങ്കടകരമാണ് അമ്മച്ചി ഇവിടുത്തെ ആദിവാസികളുടെ സ്ഥിതി
इस सारी फसाद की जड़ वो औरत है इसका कुछ ना कुछ तो उपाय निकालो अमर सिंह
क्या करते हो तुम लोग? हमारे गांव के बच्चे हैं मदर जी, बकरियां चराते हैं।
अगर हो सके तो आगे से बच्चे को बकरी चराने मत भेजना
मदर जी, आप अपनी जिंदगी हमारे संघर्ष में क्यों बिता रही हो?
काम का पगार सिर्फ खाना
The film is also about sacrifice. And Alphons, I just want to switch to you a minute and talk about how the music goes with all these moving scenes of sacrifice, of people coming together. The music is nominated or was on the list of the eligibility for the Oscars. So what was your process like preparing the music for this film? And what are your feelings about when you found out that amazing news?
I'm blessed because it's the first time an international recognition, the process of recognition is getting for me. And just before the film work started, as I understood the story and I was, here listening to the script, I felt like this is not just like another ordinary movie. This is something I should give myself, completely because it's about Sister Rani Maria and she's a person of God. And I should pray about it. Really, I should pray about it. And I started praying to Sister Rani Maria, like, I'm going to do this movie and, please help me to do what is the best which I can give. And another thing is like, when I discussed with Shaison Ji, the director, he said, we need to work this movie with an international vision. How these international movies are why? Because in Indian films, we can see that lot of music in it, like, overdoing of music for, some commercial movies and also. He really wanted to have it as an, make it to the international standard that use music whenever there is a need. And, so I was very much careful about that, that kind of a treatment and to understand the kind of music which is, being used in that area where the story is happening. I went there. I went to Udayanagar where this, whole story happened. And I visited the place where she was murdered. And I visited the, convent and, all these village. And, I met a lot of people. I met a lot of musicians there who plays different instruments. They're on, folklore instruments. And I listened to them singing. That was an incredible experience for me to understand their music, the kind of life in their voice. And I recorded one of the tribal lady who has sang one of our song, one among the 3 songs. And with all these, concept, I started working on the music. And I believe the music which I composed here in this movie is just for the movie. It's not like, music grows beyond the movie. More than that, the music for the movie, that is what I have done, which enhances the movie. Yeah.
It's amazing what music can do to the mood of a scene, how it can tie things together, how it can bring the viewer deeper into it. And this is a very, very unique film. Dr. Ouseph, in the Indian context, right? It's natural to even doubt the relevance of a biopic of a Catholic nun who offered her life for Christ. This is a rare film. So, Dr. Ouseph, what inspired you to think differently and to get this made?
You rightly said in Indian context, people would doubt about the relevance of this film because the film is on a Catholic nun. In India, when you hear about a Catholic nun or a priest, the first thought comes to you is for changing the religion. They're working in order to change the religion. But here the story is not that. Here the story is absolutely about empowering the powerless and saving the people who are in distress. And that's what exactly Sister Rani Maria has done that. So when we started thinking about this film, most of the people were literally asking us, are you really going to do a film or a documentary or a short film? Because they couldn't understand the kind of depth in which Sister Rani Maria worked among the tribals. And when we realized in 2016 onwards, we have been making this wonderful journey to the villages, meeting the people where Sister Rani Maria worked with, and even meeting the nuns and everyone around and asking about them, about Sister Rani Maria and her activities. And it's truly inspired me, even though there are only few books have been written about her mission work. But it's much beyond the works that is written. We could see it, we could feel it among the tribals and the villages. And when my script writer, along with me, we made these several trips to the places. We realized there is much more than what we could hear and what we could read it. So therefore, we decided to make the initial stages, yes, it was meant for a kind of short film, but knowing the subject, we decided we should look for a feature film, and we went for a feature film, and that was the first major steps which we have taken.
अच्युत तो सिर्फ आदिवासी है, उनका पैसा नहीं है ना साहब?
तेरी हिम्मत कैसे हुई हमारे सामने बात करने की?
बात करेंगे। तुम लोगों को अपने गांव में आत्मसम्मान के साथ जीने का अधिकार है।
इस गांव में चाहे बीमारी आए, लोग मरे, इस औरत का उससे क्या?
I can imagine, the making of this wasn't without challenges. I'm sure, we see this amazing product at the end and the impact that it has. But what we don't see is the struggles that you guys have overcome. And I have to believe there's been some divine interventions, especially through Sister Rani Maria. Can you share, Sandra, a story where her intercession helped you get through something on set?
Yes, Joelle. As you said, yes, there were challenges in making of the film. When we started it, the first thing was the resources. We did trying to get people to fund the film for us, but it was not possible. And then we discussed with Dr. Father Conrad Peso, and he said, yes, I think we should go ahead and do it. And that is how we formed Trilight Creations with the three of us. And we funded it on our own. We mortgaged our properties. We had friends who helped us out. And that is how we got the resources. The next challenge we had was the locations. To find a secure location where we could shoot for 40-45 days was another challenge. We did go through 2 or 3 states trying to find the similar location because it was a challenge to depict what happened 28 years back today. We had almost, I think, 150 artists from 16 states working with us at a particular given point of time, shooting with temperatures around 47 degrees without any proper facilities was another challenge that we had. Yes, we did, and there was, to be very frank, divine intervention, as you said. At every step in the making of the film is what we could feel. I think there were 2 or 3 occasions where we said, fine, we would call it off in between. Yes, we had hard times, and But yes, every time we thought of something like this way. In the morning it was, you say, light at the end of the tunnel, where we had to continue and to go on. That's how the film, The Face of the Faceless.
And Alphons, I want to go back to the music again. This is all just so intertwined, and we're talking about love and, you know, and purpose and light. And there are even in the songs is talking about these rays of light. And God made humans to love. He made us to be his light in the world. Jesus is the light of the world. So how did you coordinate, even with composing? You know, you did the composing and the music, and someone else did the lyrics. How did that all come together with the scene, with the actors, to bring the meaning of what's really going on in this call to unity and love and being a ray of light? How did that all fit together from the music side of things?
Yeah, in fact, I was also traveling with, you know, each characters in the movie. And when I saw the, you know, incident where, you know, Rani Maria sister is doing whatever she can to help them. But finally, she sees that now nobody is helping them. And, you know, all the people are, you know, rejecting them. Whatever steps they take, from every corner, they are getting negative, you know, reactions. And she was sitting in the convent with a very desperate, you know, mind. And that time, another nun sister is saying, like, you know, sister, you know, Jesus, with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, he multiplied, and, you know, everybody was, you know, able to, you know, have the food required. So listening to that, you know, Rani Maria suddenly gets up and say, hey, sister, say that again. She was like, you know, she got something from that. And, you know, that is where everything starts again. Like, you know, she make them understand the possibility of coming together and, you know, give whatever they have, and they collect everything, and they build their own bank. That kind of a new thought is coming out. So that story itself inspires me to, you know, give music which is bringing out life, you know. So each and every situations, it really inspires me personally also, because I also have gone through the situations, like, you know, nothing is working out. You know, I try a lot of things, and there are a lot of rejections, and, you know, some situations where, you know, we really deserve something, but, you know, it is not coming out. Something like that. That kind of incidents are happening in our lives also. But this reaction of Sister Rani Maria, really inspired me, and it really gave me hope and trust, which really brought out the music.
Sister Rani Maria, this is your last warning.
ये लोग आपके गांव वाले या रिलेटिव तो नहीं लगते?
आप हमको छोड़ के मत जाइए माताजी।
गांव वालों को कैसे जीना है, ये हम तय करेंगे।
चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, मैं उनके साथ खड़ी रहूंगी।
Dr. Ouseph, I want to go over the accusations of, like, there's this whole anti-Christian elements and contempt for Christian values all over. It's in the rise, especially in the movie industry. So what would you say, like, your approach based on that was for The Face of the Faceless? And also, what kind of support did you get from the Catholic Church? I saw that you met the Pope. I would love to hear more about how the Catholic Church has supported you in this mission and in the movie industry.
Joelle, the initial stages, just like anyone, I think the Catholic Church was little reluctant to accept the fact that whether should we do this film or not. There are reasons why. One is they have to invest the resources. The second reason would be, will this invite criticism from other religious people? So therefore, whenever I knocked at the doors of the Catholic heads and the Catholic Church, they would say that, okay, Shaison, the story is wonderful. It's a heart-touching. But right now, I think we shouldn't do this. So a kind of discouragement was there in the beginning. So, but my response to them was that, if you don't do it now, because it's almost 28 years back that Sister Rani Maria was stabbed and she was even killed. And if you don't do it now, when are we going to do it? Therefore, we decided, so let's do it. I don't see any challenge as such, because we are just speaking about the truth which happened almost 28 years back. And it's not against any religious, it's against the system. And Sister Rani Maria happened to be a nun with the spirit of Holy Spirit. Where she worked, she understood that we need to work for the life of the people. And that's what exactly she did. So therefore, there is no one can stand against and talk about it. And we started making this, and we didn't make much noise about it. Usually in Indian cinema or in India, when someone makes a film, first they announce and they put posters and they make a big noise about it. We didn't make any kind of noise. We went very slow and we did our work and we completed our film. Once we completed our film, we announced it. But once the film was ready, so we did a kind of first premiere show in Kerala and in Mumbai, where we invited the Catholic heads. With a little reluctance and reluctancy, they came forward and they watched the film. After watching the film, they realized how important this film should reach out to as many as people. Then they started supporting. And the support is so great that we had to run this film for almost 7 weeks in Kerala itself, where we had a huge audience and a great support from the Catholic Church and other denominations, including her own congregation, the so-called FCC congregation. They all came in supportive of this film. Then all of a sudden, I got a kind of intuition, and I contacted my former superior. His name is Father Matthew, who is a general in Rome. I contacted him and requested him. Then he said he would like to see the film. So we sent a copy of it and he saw the film. Then he realized, yes, the film should be watched by everyone in Rome. So therefore, he started working on it. Then he managed to get a screening in Vatican. Also got an opportunity for us to meet the Pope. And we had a few seconds of interaction with him. And we did hand over the copy of the films to him. And yeah, it's all happened by the grace of God.
Alphons, what are you hoping that audiences actually feel when they experience this film, and especially through the music? What are you hoping that they walk away with?
The kind of experiences I watch, during the, when I see the people watching the movie, the tears, coming through their eyes, whether he's a high position man or whether it's an ordinary woman, everybody is feeling the same. So I believe that this movie will be an inspiration for all the creators to make movies like this, to change the world, to change the minds of people.
I think that this is something that the whole world needs to see, because we don't even know that these things exist. We don't understand the oppression that people are under and what they're suffering. So Sandra, how can people watch this film, and what are some ways they can spread the message of this to get more people involved? Maybe they could even have group parties to watch this. Please advise us.
Yes, we have already released it in India, in Kerala, on the 17th, and we are doing private screenings. We are also releasing it overseas. We have the distributor for UK, Europe, as well as Middle East. And yes, as you rightly said, this movie needs to be seen by almost every individual. That's what we feel, as it's a very strong message that we give across, and especially in today's day, being human, loving someone selflessly and unconditionally, and sacrificing and forgiving someone is the biggest challenge. So I think this movie gives you a very strong message. And yes, we are hoping to take it forward, and you should be able to see it on the OTT platforms soon, after the Oscars maybe.
That would be wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much for being with us today. I'm truly excited about this film, about the awareness that it's going to bring to help people. We need to never give up on each other, keep praying for each other, and stay in unity, stay united in Christ. So thank you again, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Joelle, and thank you, the Shalom world.
Thank you so much. God bless you too.
For all of you watching, The Face of the Faceless is a stunning film that reminds us that we're all one in Christ. We must never give up fighting for what's right and just, especially for the underprivileged. I can't wait for you to see it, and I hope to see you again real soon right here on Beyond the Vision. God be with you. Shalom.